Good afternoon, and welcome to the Pittsburgh Land Bank board meeting. Today is Friday, September 13th, 2024. I'm Bobby Wilson. I'm a city councilman for District 1. I'm also the chair of the Pittsburgh Land Bank. Welcome today. Our first order of business is roll call. Emily, will you please take the roll?
Thank you, Chairman Wilson. My name is Emily Kalchuk, the Assistant Manager of the Pittsburgh Land Bank, and I will be calling today's roll. Councilman Bobby Wilson,
Here.
Councilman Daniel Lavelle,
Here.
Councilman Kahari Mosley,
Here.
Director Wanda Wilson,
Here.
Director Jennifer Cash Wade,
Here.
Director Kirk Berkeley, Director Steve Mazza, Director Tamara Dedukovich,
Here.
and Director Tammy Thompson. We have a quorum. Back to you, Chairman.
Thank you, Emily. Our next order of business is public comment. And I'm going to state some information about making public comment, which is please use the raise hand function in the bottom menu if you wish to speak during the public comment. As a reminder, public comment is taken at the beginning and also at second time at the end of the meeting. To begin, please state your name, neighborhood, organization, affiliation. You will have 3 minutes to speak. And if you would please call our first our first speaker.
Thank you, Chairman. This is Sally Stadelman, manager of the Pittsburgh Land Bank. I have 6 registered speakers. I'm going to read those names off and then call on the first speaker. And then we will call on anyone else with their hands raised. So the speaker order is Lataj Tinker, Angela Williams, Rebecca Mizikar, Larita Alston, Deborah Gist, and Rhonda Strozier. And we will start with Lataj Tinker.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
First of all, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I apologize. First, I just want to thank the Land Bank for their consideration of the project which I'm presenting in the Homewood neighborhood. My name is Lataj Tinker. I'm the project architect at Take and Design, an architectural firm pretty much geared toward providing architectural services and technical services to nonprofits and community organizations across the city. The project which is being presented on my behalf today is the acquisition of the vacant lot located along Hamilton Avenue. The goal of this lot is to turn it into a parking lot, which will provide parking for the renovation that will be taking place at the adjacent building at 6957 Hamilton Avenue. The goal for that building is to completely renovate it to provide 2 affordable units on the second floor and to renovate the ground floor space into commercial space. I'd like to relocate my architectural practice into the ground floor space and then also provide a limited co-working space for maybe 1 or 2 other minority businesses. Overall, this is phase 1 of hopefully 2 phases, which intends to revitalize the building and the vacant lots located along Hamilton Avenue, which face the Animal Rescue League. So again, thank you again to the board for their consideration, and I look forward to moving forward with this project.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Angela Williams. Oh.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can. Well, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, good afternoon. I'm Angela Williams. I'm Executive Director and Board Chair of Charles Street Area Corporation/Council, and I'm to speak on properties that are located in North Charles Street. This is a support public comment because the community group, the residents, this neighborhood, Perry South is our neighborhood, and the North Side in general hasn't had any affordable home ownership investment, and these lots will be utilized for that purpose. In about 20 years, it's been about 20 years since there's been investment in a new construction, let me be clear, new construction of affordable home ownership. So we're hoping that the board will look favorably upon the documents that have been presented. We've been working since literally 2017 to determine the best course moving forward with how to redevelop these vacant lots. We've had several meetings with the URA, the Housing Authority, City of Pittsburgh, other community groups. And so now, literally 7 years later, we feel like we have charted a course that is going to result in success. We recently secured funding to apply for some grants that would take care of the majority of the subsidy that would be required to build 6 units of affordable houses at 80% AMI. And so we're looking forward to transforming the neighborhood and the site. And since it has taken 7 years, we are just asking for support to transfer these properties to the land bank to hold for us until we have secured all of the funding so that we can build 6 units in phase 1. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Angela. All right, our next public speaker is Rebecca Mizikar. I can see.
Becca, you are still muted right now, but we're going to get you unmuted. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Rebecca Mizikar with PVE, and I'm also speaking on the North Charles Street Affordable Housing Project that Angela was just speaking to. We are a civil engineering firm working for the Charles Street Area Corporation, and we just concluded our due diligence on the site. So in addition to those phase 1 parcels that Angela mentioned, we looked at a slightly larger area, including 32 parcels. And the things that we found were in line with an urban site, what we would expect from these parcels that had been houses in the past. So we conducted survey, geotechnical investigation, as well as phase 1 and phase 2 environmental. The geotech found that there is fill on the site, and they recommended some over excavation to get down to the stable subsoils. And then on the phase 1 environmental, we had some adjacent former businesses like dry cleaners within a close enough proximity that it did trigger a phase 2 environmental. And that just concluded. We haven't yet put in our report, but we're working on that right now. But just to summarize the findings, that included, or what it involved were vapor samples. And those came up with a few, what they call secondary VOCs. So again, the types of materials that you would expect with the former construction that was there, materials like asphalt. And there were no recommendations for additional actions with those. So no recommendations from even like the state DEP or EPA levels there. So nothing that would prevent housing being developed on these sites.
Oh, great. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank
Our
you.
next public speaker is Larita Alston. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I've got. Oh, Larita, are you? Let's see. I can see Larita here. Are we having trouble with sound? Let's see.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Oh, there. Hi, Larita. We can hear you now.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Larita Alston, and I am a lifelong resident of the Charles Street Valley. I also serve on the committee of which President Angela Williams resides over. That's the Charles Street Area Council. I have lived in this area for much of my 67 years, and I'm proud to serve as a board member with President Angela and the committee. I'd like to speak about my youth in this community. Charles Street Valley has changed significantly over the years. Growing up, it was a vibrant community full of homes, full of life. You knew your neighbors and their families. You helped one another. There were many children in the neighborhood, and there were various activities and programs to keep them occupied. Now, many of the homes have been torn down, leaving numerous vacant, overgrown lots. I remember the affordable homes being built in the 80s and 90s and would like to see this next phase be developed for our future. It's very important. Our community needs revitalization, and the Charles Street Area Council President and members are working hard to actively change this. Right now, they are trying to secure 12 vacant lots, publicly owned lots, from the Pittsburgh Land Bank, and building affordable housing will create a more sustainable Charles Street Valley community. And I look forward to this, forward to a brighter future for our community, and one where it engages its members as we do now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Larita. Next, I have Deborah Gist.
Hello.
Hi, Deborah. We can hear you.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Deborah Gist, and I'm a longtime resident of the Charles Street Valley also. I grew up here as a teenager. Excuse me. Moved away and came back in 1998, and I've been here ever since. When I was younger, the community was so different. There was businesses, housing. There wasn't any vacant lots like we have here today. And the community was just so much better. It was family oriented. We had stores, we had a cleaners, there was a shoe shop, a trucking business, and many more things. Oh, there was a youth center, and the community was really nice. The vacant lots are a blight to the community, and I would love to see the houses built. Angela has always been supportive. She works very hard, and I pray that we will be able to build the houses. And that's all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Deborah. Thanks for joining us. My
Sure.
last registered speaker is Rhonda Strozer. Rhonda,
Good
whenever you're ready.
afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rhonda Strozer, Executive Director of FindView and Perry Hilltop Citizens Council. Perry Hilltop, of course, is a part of Perry South, as is Charles Street Valley. And so I'm here in support of the affordable housing in Charles Street Valley. Angela and I worked together on the Choice Transformation Plan, which highlights a lot of mixed income rental. And Angela was instrumental in ensuring that that plan included affordable housing in and around the Charles Street Valley area. Currently, Angela and I are working together to bring some home buyer resources to our neighbors in Perry South and the North Side at large. And so frequently in our conversations, we are preparing people for housing and preparing housing for people. So as the executive director of Perry Hilltop and a nearby neighbor, I stand in support of these parcels being held for Pearl Street Valley and their future affordable development. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda. So I have two speakers with raised hands. Next is Teresa Mayo. Nope, I don't know. Teresa, whenever you're ready, it looks like you're muted at the moment.
Okay, can you hear me now?
And whenever you're ready.
Okay, I don't know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you.
Well, good day, everyone. I am on the Zoom to actually I have quite a bit of history with Charles Street Valley. I'm speaking as far as my mom. My mom lived in Charles Street Valley for over 60 years. She moved away for the last 3 years, but I'm going into my childhood as far as coming to Charles Street. A lot of my family, aunts, uncles, grandmoms, they had a residence in the row houses in Straw Street as well. And as far as being a kid, there was always a door open on Charles Street, whether it was your neighbor or it was your friend's mom or even a relative or family on both sides of the street. And um, even in the next block, every block, there was a door open for family and friends. There was always games. There was always a place for children to play, activities. Um, there was even a homemaker center that was there for us. There was a building that we used for charm school. There was Munches was there. They fed people. They took care of the community as well. So with that being said, I am actually considering coming back to Charles Street. I'm actually considering being a home buyer. I'm actually considering bringing my mom back to where she was a young girl. So I would really like to see Miss Dorothy Mae Richardson's name being carried on. And I do consider Miss Angela Williams as our Dorothy Mae Richardson. So with that being said, I thank you for listening, and I hope this goes through. I hope everybody be well with this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Next, we have Rebecca Guillory Gilmer.
Picking up from what was just said so well by the board members, the community board members, the community members, and also this comment about Angela being the modern day Dorothy Mae Richardson, it makes my heart leap within me, because truly that is what she has done. She's honored Dorothy Mae Richardson, built on her legacy, and just has this broad passion, capability as coach and consultant for Charles Street Area Council and Corporation. As consultant for the board and executive director coach, I have watched this organization increase their capacity. I've watched them do a lot with a very little. I've watched them stay focused on building these houses and also committed to building the community, to building the people, to see people start small businesses, to let them know they have a voice and therefore they have agency. And that has all been under the leadership of Angela Williams. I'm proud to stand alongside this organization. I coach and consult other nonprofits, and none delights me and inspires me more than Charles Street Area Council. I want you all to know that. I want you to know they are building the capacity, and they have the capacity and vision and drive to truly get this done. This is a worthy investment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rebecca. Next, and it appears to be our final speaker. If there's anyone else that would like to speak, please raise your hand at this time. But next speaker is Erica Wingfield.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Erica Wingfield. I am Vice President of the Charles Street Area Council / Corporation, and it is an honor to work alongside Angela Williams in this endeavor. I purchased my home in the Charles Street Area Council, Charles Street Valley, 22 years ago as a phased I believe it was phase 3 of the revitalization of the community. And I purchased my home here with the intentions of continuing to build affordable housing. And it kind of hit a roadblock, but we are here today in hopes of continuing the path and the legacy of getting these houses rebuilt, or getting homes built and getting the community rebuilt. I'm a community advocate and have been for close to 30 years. So with that being said, I'm here in support of the Charles Street Area Council's affordable housing plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Erica. All right, that appears to exhaust our list of public speakers. I do just want to pause for a minute. The city channel supports the land bank and broadcasting our meetings, and we have a newer member of our city channel helping us today. And so I do just want to mention that typically just our board members are panelists. So it does appear that we have many additional people in the Zoom meeting at this time. Okay, with that, I will send it back to you, Chairman.
Thank you, Sally. Our next order of business is the chairman's report. And to go to the first item, we have to approve the minutes for the July 2024 board meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilman. All right, all in favor of the July 2024 board meeting minutes, please say
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Any noes or abstentions? Okay, the motion passes. Our next order of business is within the chairman's report is the board and the staff acknowledgements. I wanted to take the time now to recognize Tammy Thompson. So just congratulations to Tammy Thompson for being one of the recipients as the visionary leader in community development award from NeighborWorks Western Pennsylvania. And so there will be a reception for NeighborWorks Training Institute on August 26th. So congratulations, Tammy. And our other congratulations is going to go to our manager, Sally Stadelman. She was selected being named to the 40 under 40 class of 2024. Sally, what's the organization? So the organization Pump, they host this annually, and Sally's one of the recipients. So I'd like to congratulate Sally on that. And the celebration for that will be November 15th at the Rivers Casino. Our next part of the chairman's report is the rescheduling of the October board meeting due to the Reclaiming Vacant Properties Conference. So that conference will take place at our typical monthly time of when our board meeting is. And I think it's best that we take a motion now to reschedule to Friday, October 18th. So is there a motion to reschedule the October meeting for it to happen on October 18th?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. And all in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. Any noes, abstentions? Motion passes. So that means that our next meeting after this September meeting will be on October 18th for the public's knowledge. And our next order of business is the treasurer's report. So I will pass the baton to Director Wanda Wilson. Wanda, if you'd be so kind to go through our next order of business.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chairman. We have 3 actions on the treasurer's report today. The first of which is approving July expenditures. So they're listed here on the screen. And as treasurer, I will make the motion to approve the July 2024 monthly expenditures.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. And then all in favor, please report by saying aye.
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 Any noes, abstentions? All right. Motion passes. Thank you.
And the next slide are our financials. We have our financials through August 31st. So we see the income statement here with monthly expenditures and then the total for the year in the column on the right. And then the next slide, I believe, is the balance sheet. Yep. And this all looks straightforward. I don't have anything to note for the board of any issues. We are slightly behind with one expenditure with our staffing costs. We just need to get that booked for Q2. So we've only got 1 quarter booked that was the prior slide. But we're working on getting all of that so that we're a little bit more, we don't have so much of a lag behind. So I am working on that. The next slide, I think, is the drawdown by fund. So this just shows how the different restricted buckets of funding are being drawn down. So we can see per funding source. And the next slide, I believe, is our August expenditures. I'll pause if there were any questions on the financial statements from board members. I'm happy we can go back and review anything if people had any questions. Like I said, I didn't have anything of note to highlight for you. If no discussion or questions, the August expense is here. There's one. So I would make the motion, accept the August 2024 financials and approve the August monthly expenditure here, $15.
What I may have missed that. Did you just make the motion?
I did.
Okay.
I read the motion that's listed there.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. And then all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any
And we have
noes,
one
abstentions?
final item today. So our final item is we're actually going to be proposing to revise a motion that we took earlier to adjust the amount for our general liability insurance policy. It's a change in the amount of $555. We needed to adjust the amount for the property insurance, and then there's an additional amount that is added to the policy because we've elected that terrorism coverage. So the total amount would be adjusted in that resolution that we passed prior to $6,405. So I will make the motion amending resolution number 84 of 2024 that approved the payment of the land bank's general liability insurance policy to approve an increase in the cost of the annual premium to $6,405 using ARPA funds.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any noes or abstentions? Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Director Wilson. And next is our staff updates. And Sally, could you please go over those?
Yes, and Chairman, I am going to propose that we actually switch and move to action items first and then go back to staff updates, just because I know at least one of our board members has this hard stop at 2:00, and I want to make sure we get through the voting portion of the meeting, if that's all right with everyone.
Sounds great.
Comfortable with
I
that?
will move to action items. And our first action item is an update on Rosetta Street sale.
Okay, I'll give Emily a second here to Adjust
sorry.
whenever you're ready, Emily.
Moving faster than the slide. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Chairman. The
Okay, well,
first
that brings it.
resolution.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chairman.
No, I was just going to say, so that brings us to, you see on the slide for the Rosetta update on the Rosetta sale. And please continue.
First resolution is resolution number 90, a motion to repeal resolution number 54, authorizing the acquisition from the Urban Redevelopment Authority by the Pittsburgh Land Bank of Block 50G, Lot 76 in the 10th Ward for a price of $500 plus costs using ARPA funds, and sale of the same property to Abigail and Alex Callum.
All right. We have a motion to, let me get my bearings here. This is the motion to repeal. Was there a motion to repeal?
So move.
Is there a second? Okay, then we have a second. All in favor of the repeal resolution number 54, please report by saying aye.
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 All right. Any noes or abstentions? Motion passes.
And Chairman, I just wanted to make a quick note here for this property that this parcel was in the Urban Redevelopment Authority's inventory and will remain in the inventory. So typically with these sales, we do a double closing. They stay with the URA at the time of sale.
All right, thanks. That brings us to our acquisition of city-owned properties portion of the meeting, where these resolutions authorizing the acquisition of properties from the city of Pittsburgh by the Pittsburgh Land Bank. And we have, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 of those resolutions. And Emily, would you please walk us through those?
Thank you, Chairman. The first resolution, resolution number 91, is authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 45M, lots 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 109, 110, and 138 in the 26th Ward from the City of Pittsburgh, and to prepare the properties for sale at a cost not to exceed $92,000 using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same properties to the Charles Street Area Corporation.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
And there was a second?
Second.
Okay, let's have let's do a discussion here before we take the vote. Sally, unless directors have immediate comments, we'll turn it over to Sally.
Yeah, so board members heard our testimony during public comment. I do also want to mention that we received notes of support from 2 additional residents, Deborah White and Luann Lewis, who are not able to join us today. And we also received a letter of support from Ben Soltez, the president of the Northside Leadership Conference, in favor of this transfer today. So just want to point out on the screen here, this is the phase 1 of this project. This is another great example of the Land Bank and Urban Redevelopment Authority working in partnership on a project as well. And that I also want to talk a little bit about, we get a lot of questions about how people begin these kinds of processes. And so you've noticed that the Charles Street Area Corporation has submitted a budget and grant funding and has lined up. It will take us about 9 months to process these parcels and make them available for sale. And that should line up with when that grant funding is coming in and when the Charles Street Area Corporation is close to being shovel ready to begin their project. So that's a really important part of being successful at applying to the Pittsburgh Land Bank to purchase property. So I will pause there if there's any additional questions or comments from board members.
Okay, seeing none, please report by saying aye if you're in favor of resolution number 91.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any noes or abstentions? Motion passes. Moves us on to resolution number 92.
Thank you, Chairman. Moving on to resolution number 92, authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire block 174K lot 362 in the 13th ward from the city of Pittsburgh and to prepare the property for sale at a cost not to exceed $11,000 using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same property to Rising Tide Partners.
Is there a motion to approve 92?
So moved.
Move second. We have a second to the motion for 92.
Second.
Thank you. And any discussion, Sally, before we take the vote?
Yeah, so this is just one additional parcel that we're adding to the parcels this board approved last month for the land bank to acquire clear title and transfer to Rising Tide Partners, who had filed a large conservatorship in order to take possession of these abandoned row houses. So they, I believe, are closing any day or have acquired those row houses, and then we will work to transfer those additional properties. This was just one additional structure that we wanted to bring through this process. This is attached to an additional home that Rising Tide Partners already owns. They're in very poor condition and will need to be demolished. And I will pause if there are any questions or comments from board members.
Any comments? All right, seeing none. Please report by saying aye if you're in favor of resolution number 92.
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes or abstentions? All right, resolution number 92 passes. That moves us on to our third item in the acquisition of city-owned properties. And that brings us to resolution number 93.
Resolution number 93, authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire block 125M lot 297 in the 12th ward from the city of Pittsburgh and to prepare the property for sale at a cost not to exceed $8,000 using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same property to Tink Plus Design LLC.
Thank you, Emily. We have a motion to approve number 93.
So moved.
There's a second.
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 Thank you. Discussion, Sally?
So we heard from the applicant today during public comment. This is a really exciting project for the land bank because the Urban Redevelopment Authority currently owns 6957 Hamilton. The applicant has submitted a separate application to purchase that structure, which was approved yesterday, or I should say, passed the first required URA board vote to enter into exclusive negotiations for that structure. And so the land bank is participating in this project to bring this city-owned parcel next door into our inventory so we can clear the title and make it available for sale through this larger project and purchase that the URA will be managing and spearheading. So we're excited to be partnering and to be able to provide this additional tool to make this parcel available.
All right, great. Any comments or concerns from the board? Okay, all those in favor of resolution number 93, please report by saying aye.
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 Any noes or abstentions? Resolution number 93 passes. That moves us on to our pilot residential sales program. And we have one resolution. I'm sorry. Yes, we have a resolution number 94.
Resolution number 94, authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire block 11K, lots 271-3 and 271-10 in the first ward from the city of Pittsburgh and to prepare the properties for sale, including quieting the title, cleaning out the structures, and sealing the building envelopes at a cost not to exceed $122,000 using ARPA funds.
We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
There's a second.
Second.
Thank you. Sally, discussion?
So these are two additional properties the land bank is looking to bring in, and we will sell through what we're calling our pilot residential sales program. This, which we're going to talk about more in the staff updates portion, is the land bank will bring these properties into our inventory, stabilize and clear the title, and then we will list them for sale. And we will be seeking out owner occupants coming to the land bank with their own rehab funding to complete the rehab of these properties. So we toured these properties with URA engineers and Uptown partners. We even had some neighbors stop by and say hello as well. And for at least for our land bank standards of what we're usually looking at, these are in really great condition. They are part of a larger row of properties, which, as I love to champion the stabilization of row houses, they're more expensive for the city to tear down. Maintaining these properties also protects the structural integrity of the other row houses in this row. And they're just they're just lovely little 2-bedroom homes that we look forward to getting back onto the market and getting occupied.
Thank you, Sally. Any comments from board members? All right. I'm excited about these sales here and looking forward to what can come for these properties. I never realized what Sally told me the potential that could be, especially with the backyards of these areas, even though they're on the boulevard. So looks like a nice piece of property. So with that, we're going to vote on number 94. Please report by saying aye. All for those who are in favor.
Aye.
All right. Any no's, abstentions? All right. Number 94 passes. And that moves us on to acquisition of URA-owned properties. We have two resolutions, 95 and 96. Emily, can you start us off with number 95?
Thank you, Chairman. Resolution number 95, authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire block 23F, lots 198 and 199 in the 25th Ward from the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh for $500 per parcel plus costs using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same properties to Todd Meyer.
We have a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. Sally?
So this is another property that we were working in partnership with the Urban Redevelopment Authority. The buyer has purchased 111 Carrington, which is a single family home from the Urban Redevelopment Authority. And what has been found is there's a large retaining wall on these structures, and it must be repaired in order to protect the stability of 111 Carrington. These are steep, narrow, largely undevelopable lots. And we want to make sure that the full rehab of 111 Carrington is successful, which is why we are proposing this sale here today. I also want to mention there are deed restrictions that have been put in place by the URA on 111 Carrington, requiring that the project be completed, that work very similarly to the typical deed restrictions the land bank uses as well. So I'll pause there if anyone has any questions or comments.
Okay. This brings it, if there's no comments, then we'll take the vote on number 95. All in favor, please report by saying aye.
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 Any opposed or abstentions? All right, number 95 passes, brings on to 96.
Resolution number 96, authorization for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to acquire Block 9S, Lot 200 in the 3rd Ward from the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh for $500 plus costs using ARPA funds, and authorization to convey the same property to Donna Rivers.
Motion to approve. We have a motion to approve number 90, resolution number 96.
So moved.
Thank you. We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. Sally, I'll give it over to you for some of the discussion.
Yes. So recall, the board actually approved the sale of this property last year. And we were looking to, and so we just wanted to update this resolution with the chosen buyer, which is the adjacent neighbor, Miss Donna Rivers. This is also a property currently in the Urban Redevelopment Authority's inventory that has been there for some time. I think everyone is excited to be able to transfer this to the adjacent owner as a side yard. Yeah. And I pause for questions or comments from the board.
Any questions or comments? Okay, that brings us to voting on number 96. Please report if you are in favor by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed or any abstentions? All right, number 96 passes. And Sally, I'm going to turn it over to you for legislative updates.
Okay. Well, and actually we are going to hop back to
we're going to hop back to
staff updates. Yes. And thank you everyone for being flexible. I just didn't want to lose the
Thank you for keeping track of that.
the board votes. No problem. Okay. So I'm gonna take everyone through an overview of our typical overview of where our properties are in our pipeline. I'll just hop through here. So first our list of completed sales. We're up to 15 completed sales with many more coming this fall. Thank you. Here we have a list of we are actively clearing title on several of these. Oh, I'm sorry. These are URA transfers. So we are actively working on closings with the organizations here. So we hope to complete these sales this month, if not this fall. Okay. All right. Next, we've got several projects previously approved by the Land Bank Board that have entered our inventory, and we are actively clearing title on the properties that you see here. And again, I think we will be able to close on most of these by the end of the year. Again, and this is a similar tranche. Currently, we are clearing title. They're in the Land Bank's inventory. We have contractors out clearing these properties, working closely with PHDC to complete stabilization. And we also feel confident that most of the quiet titles should be completed, and we'll be able to be closing on these properties this fall. And so the last two slides and several that you see here are also our objection period is currently open. So many of these properties have a sign. We've placed the sign at the property, alerting neighbors and residents that there will be a sale from the land bank to the Pittsburgh Housing Development Corporation, where they'll sell those properties to rehab those properties and sell them to an 80% AMI buyer. Oh, and Emily, we went a little too fast. If we could just hop back to that prior slide for one more moment. Yes, thank you. So while we clear title, and these properties are to be stabilized, and so most of these we should be closing on this fall, if not by the end of the year. And notice there, our property in the corner. I think within the next couple of weeks, we should be closing on that lot previously approved by the board. Thank you. Okay. These parcels are still pending resolution of a previously filed conservatorship. They're still in the city's inventory, although they have been approved by City Council for transfer. And then here is a series of properties that had just recently arrived in the land bank's inventory within this last month, but after our July board meeting. So we're just beginning the process of quieting title, doing some stabilization work there. And another list of properties that we are expecting to record a deed within the next week or two. And I will point out as well, those top two properties, 2724 and 2726 Bedford Avenue. There's a third row house that was on an earlier slide that has already come into the inventory. I attended a meeting with PHCC and the Urban Redevelopment Authority earlier this week to meet with the residents who live in the homes adjacent to these row homes. They're part of the URA's Choice Neighborhood project in the Hill District. So we're very happy to be just helping to get 3 of, I think there's maybe 7 or 9 row houses total just on this block that Pittsburgh Housing Development Corporation is working with the Hill CDC to rehab and bring back online so they can be occupied properties. So if anyone is looking to make comment or file an objection or ask a question, or even wants information on how to apply to purchase one of these affordable homes, they can contact the Pittsburgh Land Bank by email, by phone, and you can find the list of properties with that open objection period at our on our website at pending sale in the pending sales section. So you'll find the project and then go fill out the form. So our policies and procedures have this window of time open, but we do leave those up so we can take questions or concerns at any time that this property is in our inventory. Next, just a quick update on the properties in our donation agreement with the city of Pittsburgh. These are properties that are still within the city's inventory where the land bank paid a third-party law firm to clear title so that we could move those along to the community development corporations that had applied to purchase them. I think more than half of them have been sold at this point. And the majority on this list are either the CDC is working to purchase them, or they've been moved off of the list. So we're coming close to having final resolution on our properties in this donation agreement. But they do all have clear title. And then here are all the properties that have successfully been sold out of that list. All right, so next we have a very exciting update for our pilot residential sales program or our pilot residential rehab program. Also still taking suggestions for the snappiest name for this new program. So the following 5 properties have been brought into the city's inventory, or excuse me, brought into the Pittsburgh Land Bank's inventory. I have scheduled and are working to schedule their clean out and stabilization. We have some realtors selected to market these homes. And so we do expect within the next week or two, we will have these properties live on MLS and we'll be able to begin taking applications. And so anyone interested in these properties, of course, can reach out directly to the land bank. We will have that application up on our website. But the primary way that people should be seeing that these are available for sale is through the traditional means that anyone would look to purchase a home, which is through MLS, websites like Redfin and Zillow, and through their realtor. Okay. And I guess I should also, so we've got highlighted in red there, we would be looking to receive applications by October 18th to consider these properties for an approval of sale by November. And then we're going to just talk a little bit about what those applications, what those requirements are going to look like. So we are prioritizing, we are looking for owner occupants, applicants that will occupy the home once the rehab is completed. They'll need to pass our qualified buyer check, where we will be making sure that they don't owe any back taxes, unpaid water bills, or that they don't have any open violations for on additional property that they may own. And then that buyer will also need to demonstrate a preliminary proof of financing that they can cover the cost of purchasing the home and completing the rehab. A preliminary rehab plan, and they will need to submit a preliminary rehab plan, and they will need to have completed a tour of the property as well. So we're very excited to begin taking applications. And as a reminder, any approved buyers, the land bank uses either a reverter deed or a renovation enforcement mortgage. Once the property is sold, those are in place to ensure that the work is completed. And if the work is not completed in the allotted amount of time, it does give the land bank the ability to bring that property back into our inventory. Okay. All right. And I'll just pause. Does the board have any questions or updates or comments on any of the staff updates? Okay. We'll go through, and I will just hop right into legislative updates. So we just want to announce that the land bank will be presenting to Pittsburgh Public Schools on October 7th. This is relating to our intergovernmental cooperation agreement. Recall that this is important because in order for the Pittsburgh Land Bank to begin using the sheriff's sale, which is a more efficient process than the treasurer's sale and also provides us priority bid and free and clear quiet title powers. This agreement needs to be in place for the land bank to begin using that process. So we're excited to continue to make progress and have that conversation with the school board on October 7th. Okay, and finally, we don't have any updates here, but just wanted to, we're keeping this on the agenda. Proposed at the federal level is the Neighborhood Revitalization and Land Banking Act, introduced by Senator Casey, and would be a really crucial, exciting funding opportunity for land banks across the U.S. If this were to pass and be funded. And that is all I have for legislative updates, and I will pass it back to you, Chairman Wilson.
Thank you, Sally. This brings us to our public comment phase. We have public comment at the beginning and end of each meeting. And just want to go over some items for that. So the rules for that, which is you will be given 3 minutes. Use the raise hand function at the bottom of the menu if you wish to speak during public comment. And this, to make comment, please state your name, neighborhood, organization, affiliation, and you will have 3 minutes to speak, like I said. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'm just pausing for a moment to see if we have any hands raised. Oh, okay. Oh,
We have any hands raised?
I did see Miss Rainey's hand go up for a moment there. So I'll pause for a moment. If Miss Yvonne Rainey would like to make a comment.
Yvonne, are you
Yes,
with us? You'd like to make a
I'm
comment?
with you. I'm with you.
All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Yvonne Rainey. I do live on the north side of Cal Kirkbright, and I strongly support what Miss Williams has been doing because our communities are changing, but we have a lot of young folks coming in that wants to be homeowners. And I think with her work that she's doing, it's excellent. And I support her 110. I am also with the Northside Coalition for Fair Housing, Public Safety, and so forth. I'm a community activist, and I do truly appreciate Miss Williams for all her diligent work because everyone has a right to be a homeowner. And that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Rainey. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment, Sally?
And that appears to exhaust our public speaker list.
Well, having exhausted our public comment, I want to brings us to I want to make a short meeting announcement, which is that it will be Friday, October 18th, which at 1 p.m. That will be our next meeting. And with that, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.